Hey, what's going on? What's happening, my good people? You know who it is and what it be. This is Rob P. Pasker Real Estate, New Millennium Real Estate Services for the People, coming at you live. Toledo City Council candidate Rob Pasker and Realtist Rob Pasker coming at you live from the 419. We in the building. What's happening? What's really good? I hope all is well with you all. Um, it's been very eventful lately as far as what's going on here in Toledo. So I figured the best way to get in front of you all is really just to get in front of you all and really just break down what's happening, what I've been seeing, and I'll try to get some perspective because I feel like that's what it's about. We live in a world, we live in a universe that's 360 degrees, and when I'm looking at something, I only see it from my perspective, but I know there's also other perspectives out there. But I think it's important that I share my perspective because, for one, I'm looking to represent you. So I want you all to get to know me and how I think, but I also want to learn more about what you all think on certain topics. So tonight, we got a nice show ahead of us. Um, we're going to talk about agenda, what's going on with agenda. We're going to talk about that, the tragedy that happened at agenda, and the things that come from that tragedy. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about the city council meeting yesterday and the big decision that was made regarding the Rocky Ridge development and how that affects the neighbors and what are the implications moving forward. And then I found that a lot of people are interested in down payment assistance, which is it's nothing new. It's nothing new because that's just what it is and that's what I do. What's what I've been doing, but there's been a post circulating on Facebook about the Toledo Down Payment Assistance Program, and it's like, as long as I've been doing real estate, which is 11 years at this point, as many transactions as I've done, which are countless, I can't even count at this point. Um, I can't take for granted that there are still people out there that don't know how to take advantage of the resources that are here to help them purchase properties. So tonight we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that down payment assistance. So if you're rocking with me, let me know you are in the building. What that means to me is like, share, comment, comment first and foremost. If you're watching right now, just put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat one time. Put a one in the chat. Two times. Comment if you see something interesting or you want to talk about something. Hey, put it in the chat or hit the link in the description. You can actually come on this stream with me. So that opportunity does present itself, and I would love to bring somebody on here to talk about perspectives. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our first story here and keep it moving. Oh yeah, like I said, I'm running for city council. Boom. Rob Pasker. I've been doing the work here in Northwest Ohio for over a decade here. I've done a lot to help people build wealth. I've done a lot of things to help small businesses build here. And I've also done a lot to advocate for policies that break down barriers for people in Toledo. And I'm really just looking to scale the work that I've done. So in November, I'm asking you all for a promotion. So what I'm going to tell you is to go to pastorfortoledo.com, learn more about my platform, and then also learn more about if what I say resonates with you, if you feel me, if you believe that my type of leadership is what's needed in Toledo. I need your help to make it happen. So it is what it is, and you know who it is and what it be. Let's get to it. Live from the 419, our first story. Here we go. All right, let's talk about it. Agenda. This is from 13 Action News. Shout out to 13 Action News. They put some good news out there. They keep us informed as a people, and that's always important, being an informed citizens. So this story was done specifically by Alexis Mean. Shout out to Alexis. She's been holding it down in our community for a long time, telling stories that matter and keeping us informed. So let's get into it.
Labeled a nuisance by the city of Toledo. It's still closed. Judge ordered the popular bar is labeled a nuisance by the city of Toledo. It's still closed. Judge ordered the Agenda Sports Bar shut down for 2 weeks. An employee there speaking out tonight with Action News. 13 Action News reporter Alexis Means live with the story. It is all new at 5. Alexis.
Lee, the employee says that they are being unfairly targeted and it's affecting their jobs. The doors at the Agenda Sports Bar are padlocked, a judge ordering the owner to close it for 2 weeks. 26 people who
Shout out
work
to
for the
Bean.
business are
Shout
out
out
of
to the
work
whole
for
staff
now.
agenda.
It's definitely taking a toll.
Shout out to
all
Ja.
around, not just for, financial. It's like taking a toll on our mental too, because we're like, dang, okay, what if that is the possibility we don't open back up?
Joliet Coleman has worked as a bartender at the sports bar for 5 years.
So I'm in school right now, and several other people that work there are in school as well. So this is our livelihood. We have a lot of people that work there literally full time.
The city of Toledo has deemed the business a public nuisance. This after 2 people were killed and 2 people were injured during a shooting down the street from the bar. Coleman says she was working that night.
Yes, it did happen down the street. It was something that pertained inside that ended up escalating outside, but that was nothing that we can do at that point. If you're down the street and you're doing that, you're outside of security and everything. It's nothing else that we can do. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, for us to get shut down behind something that happened outside and down the street, I just felt like it was unfair to us, honestly.
A Toledo police officer and the owner of the bar testified in court that the bar at the time of the shooting was not on the City of Toledo's CERT list. It's a list of businesses or private homes that city leaders consider a problem. The agenda had off-duty Lucas County Sheriff deputies and other security working the outside of the property.
We have had sheriffs at our doors. We have had more security. We have implemented, like they said, the age limit and stuff like that. So we take pride in doing that. And we definitely run a tight ship there.
Now employees are wondering if they'll ever be able to return to work.
You have cooks that just want to cook. You have bartenders that just want to bartend. That's just their livelihood. That's what you're used to. That's what you're comfortable with.
City lawyers and the owner of the agenda will head back to court next week to discuss the future of the bar. In Toledo, Alexis Means, 13 Action News.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, what happened at Agenda is a tragedy. Anytime there's a loss of life, it's going to be a tragedy. But I think it hit a little bit harder for a lot of people in Toledo because the people that did pass away that were hit were well-connected people. They're well-connected people. So, I mean, one of the guys that passed, Fonz, is the brother of one of my good friends. So, my prayers are with Taylor and her family as they get through this, the Garrett family, as they get through this tragedy in their lives. So that hit. And then, seeing the other guy, Chris, I didn't know him personally, but I see a lot of Facebook friends that are affected by his passing. I know he had boys, he had sons, and it's totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable what happened. And it's like, we're adults. We should be able to handle anger. We should be able to walk away. We should be able to control our reactions. And it's like, nothing is worth reacting in a way that not only takes away your life, their life. Not only does that take away one person's life, you're ruining children's lives. Of course, this life will go on and they can grow, but their life will never be the same again. And then, not to mention, when you get caught, because you will get caught, your life is going to be over as well. And so that temporary anger is never okay. There is no circumstance, literally no circumstance, that should happen. It's unacceptable. And I mean, we as a people have to do better. And I don't know what the solution is, honestly. I don't know what the solution is, because it's like, all right, we can't arrest our way to safety. At a certain point, we as people have to take accountability. Point blank, period. And so what troubles me about this situation, aside from the killing, aside from people that got hurt, aside from the families that have lost members, what troubles me about this situation is that I feel like the Agenda Sports Bar is the scapegoat for what happened there. And when you look at the facts of the situation, they closed on time. They hired off-duty police officers as security for the club. They have an age limit at the club. Agenda did everything that they were supposed to do. Being a business owner in Toledo, Ohio, I support other businesses, especially businesses of people from marginalized communities. So shout out to Beam. And like I said, the whole staff. I've never had a bad experience with the staff of Agenda. The bartenders give great service. Shout out to Ja, because she is always A1 with her service. The kitchen, they're chefing up that good food. You already know what it is. Soul Food Sundays. Go get some yams. Go get some greens. Go get some catfish. The DJs, DJ Scott. It's great service. It's been a long established business, and for a judge to overstep his power, if you ask me, and shut down this establishment that feeds families, shut it down for weeks, that's unacceptable. And it's like they did everything that they were supposed to do. There was nothing they could have done. I wasn't there. I don't know the full story of what happened that night in the parking lot. But from what I pick up from the situation, it was something that happened inside that spilled outside. Agenda did what they had to do. They got them up out of there or whatever. They left, and it happened down the street. So at that point, it's not on agenda. It didn't happen in the club. Has it happened before? Yes, but it happens. And when it does happen, even when it happens in parking lots or inside in other establishments, you don't see them getting shut down. So I totally think it's unfair. I don't know what power that the owners of the business have, but I would encourage them to look into what power they have, because that's totally unfair. My heart goes out to the families, but this is not on agenda. This is on people who can't control themselves. Point blank, period. I want to know what you all think. If you're rocking with me right now, we got about 7 people that's rocking between Facebook, between YouTube. Yeah, we are live from the 419. We are live from the 419 with your guy, Rob Pasker. And this is what we do. You know, I've been doing this for a while. On the Cusp Podcast, coming soon. Go to my website, hit the link, robpasker.com. You can see the On the Cusp podcast, where we interview thought leaders, people on the cusp of growth and progression here in Northwest Ohio. I got a couple of episodes up my sleeve that I should have been dropped, but when I do drop it, it's going to shed a lot of light on a lot of situations. So stay tuned to that. If you're interested in home buyer education, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to learn more about my platform for City Council, you can go there to Pasker for Toledo. But one thing for certain, two for sure, I don't have enough likes. If you support me, if you support what I'm doing, if you know me, you like me, you trust me, the least you can do for me right now is hit that like button, engage. Let me know that y'all watching. Let me know what y'all think. Give me your thoughts, right? Let's get it. Let's move on to the next story, because this is very interesting here in Northwest Ohio, and it's also pretty unprecedented. And I think more people need to be attuned to what's going on here. So let's talk about it.
Room tonight shows the Toledo-Lucas County Plan Commission has issued an emergency zoning violation today for a mining operation on Angola Road. The site is not zoned for mining, but that's what Rocky Ridge Development was doing on the property. The notice asks Rocky Ridge to cease all mining and related activities immediately. Toledo City Council members rejected a zoning change request regarding the mining operation Tuesday. The vote was to allow mining to continue at 4004 Angola and expand to 2 other nearby properties. The violation says failure to comply with the notice may result in fines or legal action.
There we go. Simple. Jay Birchback with the weather. Shout out to 13 ABC. Shout out to Chris.
Today, so take it easy if you can with the humidity and keep the umbrella and rain gear handy. An example here, just after a heavy rain shower.
Thank you, Jay Birchback. Thank you, Jay Birchback. We appreciate you, because I remember getting ready for school in the morning, and Jay Birchback was on the news telling us what was up for the day. So 13 ABC does a wonderful job. Shout out to all of them and the work that they do. But yeah, so what we're talking about right now is that Rocky Ridge Development. It's been a whole fiasco. The city of Toledo gave this company a contract worth millions to mine in South Toledo off of Angola and Burn. The issue is this land, these 3 parcels of land, are not zoned for industrial. In fact, they're zoned for residential. And so technically, this company got a contract from the city and was illegally, against city code, against city ordinances, mining on this land. And the neighbors of this land have been speaking up for a while about it. But, you know, at this point, it's come to the forefront. It's come to a head. And City Council voted yesterday to stop them, to make them stop. A stop work order means that whatever you're doing, you got to stop it. They issued them a stop work order to stop the mining that's being done. So it's been a huge conundrum. There's a lot of questions, as in, who allowed this to happen? Who's the person that really allowed this to happen? Where does the accountability fall? How does this happen? That's a big thing. But I'm happy to see that City Council voted no, because once I found out about it, for me, it was no from the jump. You got all this acreage right here that's already in neighborhoods. Why are we not developing affordable housing on this land? We have a housing shortage in Toledo, and we did a city survey, and the city survey said that housing is one of the biggest issues in Northwest Ohio. So if we have a housing shortage, and me being in real estate, I experience what that means when I have my buyers that work hard. They work hard. They've been working for years for their family, and they're ready to take their life to the next level. Try to buy their first home in a reasonable price range, 120, 130, 140, 50. And they're getting beat out by investors that are bringing cash money to Toledo, right? So on City Council, I will advocate for policies that further housing stability in Northwest Ohio for renters and for homeowners alike. But for me, I'm very passionate about homeownership, because homeownership is the biggest asset that most Americans use to build wealth for their families generationally. And so I believe that our government should be using their resources to create policies and programs and partnerships that lead to more homeownership in Northwest Ohio. And it's an emergency, because our homeownership rate is dropping year after year after year. And I believe by the time the next year is over with, we will be a majority renter city, as the homeownership rate has dropped again and again and again and again and again. So I'm happy to see that. With Rocky Ridge, first of all, the mining there, they're going to have to clean that up. I just pray that this process is swift, and I pray that as far as remediation of the land, they remediate it to a place where local developers can come in and build properties in affordable price ranges. Yeah, under $175,000. Build those houses, because people will buy them. We need them. Shout out to Melinda Aldridge. She always shows love. She been showing love since love been showing. And I appreciate the one, because she put a 1 in the chat. And so I'm going to say it again. If you're rocking with me right now, put a 1 in the chat, because the more that you engage with me, the more that this will be shown to people. So I'm going to put on a quick commercial, and then we're going to come back and we'll talk about down payment assistance. We'll talk about this because people are passing this down payment assistance around. This down payment assistance program has been out as long as I've been in real estate, so longer than that. And the fact that some people don't know about it right now, that's alarming to me. That's alarming to me, but that's okay, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you all elevate by giving you that information. So I'm going to show this, because I'm going to show you what I do. This is just what I do, and then we're going to get into it.
I just see your mayhem. I got a whole list of hosts for you to see. You got to see the same ones. Ooh, I love the way you let me prove you lost. Wanna say thank you, but you still gotta see your dark sin, or he won't take it. It's our time that you wasted,
and we ain't got time to waste. You pick the right ones to put you in your place. You work hard and you're ready for your own space. Those kids watching and they growing, you want more for them, so let's show them. So let's cop you some real estate. Okay, so tell me what you really need. I got a house with a view if you wanna see. Oh, you think that's too much for your family? Oh, we can keep it low key, yeah, that's cool with me. We gotta stay within your budget. The way the market is, what they're asking, you'll have to come above it. I know it's stressful, but trust it, cause when you get those keys and build equity, you're gonna love it.
Be your main hub. I got a whole list of hosts for you to see. You got to see the same ones. Ooh, I love the way you let me prove you lost. Wanna say thank you, but you still gotta see your dark sin, or he won't take it. It's our time that you wasted. Girl, you can be honest with me. Rob got so many houses to see, and you can't get no better options than me.
Ain't no better options. Hit that line, baby, let's
Girl, you can be honest with me. Rob got so many houses to see, and you can't get no better options than me. You might just see your main home.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We just wanted to let you know that your first home doesn't have to be your dream home, but it can absolutely be your main one. So if you want to find out what it takes, hit up Robbie Pasker at 419-944-3027 or myself, Dion Westbrook, at 858-382-085.
Shout out to everybody that's rocking with me right now. If you're rocking with me right now, let me see some hearts come across the screen. I need to see some hearts come across that screen because I'm about to give y'all some keys. Some keys. Hold on, I'm going to put some music on for this one. That's what we're going to do. Because I got the keys. And I'm about to give y'all the keys. All right, we're going to talk about it. Down payment assistance, people. The money is out there. Pisces, the divine sign. Shot, what it do? What's up? Hold on. We on YouTube. We on Facebook. We on YouTube. We're out here. You know who it is and what it be. It's Rob P. Pasker Real Estate. New Millennium Real Estate Services for the people. I got some of my people in the building. Shout out to Faye Smith. Shout out to Faye Smith, Fifth Third Bank. Hands down, one of my favorite lenders in the country. I won't even just say in Toledo, in the country. I work with a lot of lenders across the country, and she's one of my favorites. Our Realtors Board Chair, our Realtors Second Vice President, Faye, she doesn't just, it's not a business to her, this is a lifestyle. And beyond just a lifestyle, it is her purpose. She's found alignment in her purpose in helping people in the home ownership, such as I, and that's why her and I connect the way that we do. So let's get into it. Hold on, let me turn this music down. Let me turn that down. Yeah, let's get into it. So, all right, down payment assistance. When people purchase homes, the fact of the matter is there is going to be, hold on, get that back. It's going to cost money to buy a house. For most people, it's going to cost money. If you can pay rent, you can pay a mortgage first and foremost. And in most neighborhoods, it costs more to rent in the neighborhood than it does to own in the neighborhood. So that's a thing. That's a big thing. So with that being said, let's just say you pay $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month rent. Over the course of 5 years, if you pay $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. So over the course of 5 years, you've just paid $60,000 out of your pocket into somebody else's pocket. You literally just built somebody else's wealth with your rent payment. So if you're going to pay somebody's mortgage, because don't get it twisted, a lot of your landlords don't own these properties straight out free and clear. Your landlords have mortgages on the properties that you live in, most of them. So with that being said, why don't you have the mortgage itself? Cut out the middleman and keep that wealth in your pocket, because every mortgage payment you're going to be paying a little bit. It's called a house note. At least that's what I call it. And so if it's going to be a house note, boom, what are you paying with a house note? Principal, which is the money that you're using, you got to pay it back. You have to pay some interest. Interest is what the money that you pay to pay the bank back to use their money. You have to pay taxes, which is taxes. And that's a whole nother topic, but there's a big push for property tax reform in Ohio. I'll let you know where I stand on that in a little bit. And you also have to pay insurance. So with that being said, it's a house note. So every time you make a payment every month, that principal payment, you paying that back, that money, that is going to be like you putting money in the bank. Because over time, every time you make a payment, it's like paying down that mortgage. It's like putting a brick down. And by the time you're done paying off your mortgage, you're going to have this building standing that is going to support your family for generations if you pass it on the right way. And that's a topic for another day, talking about heiress properties and title and, matriculation of mortgages and wealth. So what we're going to talk about right now is we're going to talk about how to actually acquire the property. And that means getting a mortgage. Getting a mortgage, right? So what does it take to get a mortgage first and foremost for the people that are interested? First things first, if you don't work or you don't have stable income, you're not getting a house. It's not happening. Priorities, people. You need income. You need income to purchase a property. No bank is going to loan you tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s without seeing a solidified record of you making money every month consistently. There's no way around that. Shout out to Melinda. Shout out to Melinda. Like I said, if you're rocking with me right now, put a house emoji in the chat, because we're talking about houses right now. Put a house emoji in the chat. And this is coming from me, Rob Pasker. I've been doing this for 11 years now. I'm a HUD certified housing counselor. I educate people because I love to educate. I want to see my people liberate. And I want to see them, you can't see it, elevate. You can't see it says elevate. But whatever the case, boom. Income. Lenders want to see at least 2 years of income. So for my people that are employed, they want to see 2 years tax returns, 2 years W-2s, 2 months bank statements, 2 months pay stubs, 2 years, 2 months, 2 months, 2 years tax returns, 2 years W-2s, 2 months bank statements, 2 months pay stubs. You got to show that you're making that money, hands down. In addition to that, they want to see your credit. Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm not going to say, oh, you have to have this credit score to get a house. I have had clients that didn't have a credit score purchase a house, right? But it all depends on the lender that you're working with, because different lenders, different banks have different programs. And so that's why it's important for you to sit with someone like myself. I'm not even going to say someone like myself. I'm the only person like myself. Because I'm not going to lie, most realtors will just send you to somebody else to help you figure out how to get a mortgage. Not I. I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to go through your financial profile. I'm going to go through your financial profile with a fine-tooth comb and look at where you stand versus where you need to be and help you put together a plan to get from point A to point B. And I've done it time and time again, and I've done it for years, right? So if you're interested in just that part, you want to make this your last year renting, right? You want to make this your last year renting. It's nothing but a phone call. It's a consultation. I have a link. If you click up there, it says robpasker.com. Hit the link. Free 15-minute housing counseling session. I'll look at your financial profile and help you put a plan together. It's free. Knowledge is free, right? So yeah, I go the extra mile. A lot of realtors aren't even educated enough to do that. Straight up, keeping it 100. It is what it is. But I've also gone the extra mile to acquire that knowledge. Hence why I'm a HUD certified housing counselor and a real estate broker. So boom. Now, as far as credit is concerned, again, I said I've had clients that didn't have a credit score get a loan, right? And so I have lenders that can go as low as 580, maybe even a little bit below that. But if you want to have a smooth process, I'm going to tell you to come with at least a 620. A 620 is going to get you some good options as far as loans are concerned. We're talking conventional loans versus FHA loans, which is a whole another topic, right? And I'm not gonna bog y'all down with that because we just want the basics right now. We just want the basics. If you my guy Joe, shout out to my boy Joe. Shout out to my guy Joe Holding. That's my guy. I hope all is well with you, Joe. I hope all is well. Whenever I see Joe, it's nothing but love. It's nothing but love. So shout out to Joe, man. Great guy. All right, let's talk about these loans. And I don't see enough shares. If you're watching right now, you've been watching for at least a minute. Share this because somebody that you know may want to hear this as well, right? They may want to hear it as well. But let's talk about the mortgage part. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, at least. I have lenders if you come with a 660 or plus, you're going to have access to loan options like zero down loans. So the higher your credit score, the more options that you'll have as far as the lending process. But like I said, the best time to buy a house is when you can. Personally, I do not recommend waiting for your credit to get better because you want a lower interest rate. The fact of the matter is, the truth behind the situation is there is a such thing as loan level price adjustments. Loan level price adjustments are charges that lenders put on you if you have a lower credit score. So yes, lenders do. It's more expensive. It's expensive to not be in the best financial position. Somebody says it's expensive to be poor. I wouldn't call it just being poor, but will your interest rate be? Will there be a difference in interest rate between a 620 and a 720? Absolutely, but it's really not going to make that much of a difference. Where you waiting another 6 months to a year to purchase to raise your credit score, you're going to lose more money by renting than you would by just purchasing a home with the credit score that you have. It doesn't make that much of a difference. You can also buy down points if you have extra money, or if the seller agrees to give you concessions, which is seller paid closing costs. You can pay down that interest rate. So even if you have a lower credit score, you can put more money towards that interest rate up front, so you can pay less. So boom. So that's it. 2 years of tax returns. Have your financial profile in order. That means no late payments, no 30-day lates within the last 12 years. None of that. You want to keep your debt down. You don't want to be maxed out as far as your debt to income ratio. Debt to income ratio is what lenders use to tell you how much home you can purchase. They look at how much money you make per month and how much money you pay towards your debt expenses every month. And that's the formula that they use to figure out how much house you can purchase. So a common misconception is the higher my credit score, the more house I can purchase. And that's not it. Not at all, because the amount that you can purchase actually comes from your debt to income ratio, which we'll go over if you schedule a housing consultation. Straight up. Boom. So, I mean, once you have the DTI and you have the credit and you have the income, now you do want to have some money saved up. I advise my clients to have at least 2 months of living expenses stacked up. So when we talk about 2 months of living expenses, how much are you paying your bills per month? That's your 1 month of living expenses. If I'm being objective, if I'm being objective, I've had clients that had like 2,000 in the bank buy a house. I have. Minimally, this is what you're going to need to purchase to get through the process. And shout out to Faye. I misspoke. I said you can't have 12 within the last 12 months. You don't want to have any 30-day late payments. That's what I meant to say. I think I said 12 years. So most lenders that I know, will not allow someone to loan a property if they have a late payment on their credit report within the last 12 months. So that's something that trips a lot of people up. But whatever the case may be, it is what it is. Thanks, Faye. I lost my spot. So no, I was talking about how much you need. What have I seen as far as what do people need to purchase? You're going to have to pay for your earnest money deposit. When you go under contract to purchase a property, you want this seller to take their house off of the market for you to purchase it a month later, right? So for the seller, there's a lot of risk involved with that. So with that being said, that means that you're going to have to put some skin in the game. The minimum that you're going to put down that I would recommend is $500. Now, on that note, some down payment assistance programs, a requirement of you getting the down payment assistance is you putting at least $500 into the transaction. So yes, you're going to have to put at least $500 down into escrow. That'll go towards your down payment at the end. You want to be able to pay for an inspection. Inspections run anywhere from $375 to about $550, depending on who you go with and what inspections you need. So you want to budget to have that money for the inspection. So right there, that's about $1,000. And the more the merrier. You never know what might come up. There might be something that comes up on the inspection that has to be done for you to get the home appraised and get the house. And sometimes sellers don't want to work with you. The seller may say, no, we're not doing it. So in that case, if it's about having a handrail for you, if you get an FHA loan, the FHA says you need to put a handrail going down to the basement, and the seller says they're not putting any more work into it, what are you going to do? Not buy the house over a beam that you can buy for $20 and some screws? No. So you want to have some money set up to do the work if necessary. Yeah. So I would say at minimum you want to have $1,500, but the more the merrier, because you never know what could arise. And then you don't want to put all your eggs into one basket, because once you get the house, you gotta make the house your home as well. So this is something that should be well thought out. But at the same time, I would not delay purchasing when you're in a position to purchase. Do it now, because these prices only go up over time. Real estate prices don't go down. They don't go down. I'm telling you, I haven't seen it go down. Well, it happens about once in a lifetime. About once in a lifetime it happens. So whatever the case, now let's talk about this down payment assistance, because that's what I've been seeing people passing around, the city of Toledo's down payment assistance. I'm going to go to this next screen here, and we can really, there's different programs. First and foremost, let me talk about the different programs. Banks have what's called program. They call it CRA loans, CRA products. CRA stands for the Community Reinvestment Act. It was a federal law that was enacted in 1976 that says that banks have to provide products for all people that live in the neighborhoods that they do business in. So a bank can't go to a neighborhood and only have products for people that with money, or people, rich people, wealthy people, people in a certain tax bracket. No, you got to have products for people that are in the lower tax brackets as well. And so, the CRA Act was one that was, the Community Reinvestment Act was one that created equity in America. And if you go to a bank and ask them, hey, what are your CRA products? They're going to tell you, hey, we got this grant for $5,000. We got this $5,300 grant, $3,600 grant. We have a zero down loan. So there are different banks have different products. If you know, you know, but that's why you're tuning in right now, so you can know. Go to a bank and ask them what are their CRA products. And if they don't have any, next. A common misconception as well is you have to bank at a bank in order to get a mortgage from them. That's not the case. Just because you bank at so-and-so doesn't mean that you have to get your mortgage from them, because the truth of the matter is that bank or that credit union that you bank at may not have programs that work for you. And if you go to this bank over here, they may have something that helps you cross that threshold. So what I would recommend is you sit down with me so that I can look at it, and based off of how much money you make, based off of what your credit score is, based off of how much money you have available, I can tell you which lenders are going to be best for you to make the path of least resistance available to you for homeownership. So those are the bank products. Holler at me, I can tell you which banks are best. In addition to that, there's a city program. It's called Home at Last. Let's talk about it. Toledo Home at Last is a program that is great. I mean, it is great. Now, it's a great program. I'll say it's great for people that need it. If you can go without the city of Toledo, go without it. But I used to say that more so in the past, because what you have to realize is this program has grown. So I want to shout out to everybody that works for the Department of Neighborhoods for the city of Toledo, Director Clemens. They are doing a great job of making this process more efficient, because I remember when I had clients that wanted this down payment assistance, and it would take them 6 weeks, might take them 3-4 months to get this down payment assistance to go through. But they have effectively broken this process down into less than 3 weeks after close. Sometimes they might even get this approved within a week of the lender being done. So yeah, when you go through this program, you have to get approved. Straight like that, straight up, you have to get approved. And so the way it is the lender does their work. You go through your inspection, your appraisal, you go through your final underwriting, and the lender is going to say, boom, clear to close. Now, if you weren't using City of Toledo, they would schedule a closing within the next week. At minimum 3 days, but within the next week. With the City of Toledo, they'll give you the clear to close, and you're not going to close within the next 3 days to a week. You're going to have to wait for the City of Toledo to check off on it, right? But like I said, they've gotten that time down, so it's easier than what it used to be. So it's a great program. City of Toledo's down payment assistance will give you, for most people, $7,500 to go towards down payment and closing costs. That's great. It's great. I mean, $7,500. If you buy just say you're buying $100,000 house and you have an FHA loan, your down payment is going to be $3,500. And then you'll have $4,000 left over for this to go towards your closing costs, which it costs money to buy a house. People have to get paid. You have to pay fees. So yeah, there's that. In certain neighborhoods, which are NERSA neighborhoods, you can get up to $9,500 in these target neighborhoods. Some minimum things that these people need. Let's see. First and foremost, the city of Toledo is going to require you to have a home inspection, which, as a real estate broker, I always tell my clients, hey, get an inspection, because I don't care if you get an FHA appraisal. I don't care. If you get a city of Toledo inspection, you want your own inspection so that you know where you're going to have to budget your money in the house over the next 5 to 7 years. You want to know where you're going to have to put your money. So with that being said, get your inspection. It's not necessary though. I'm not gonna say it's not necessary. It's not mandatory in transactions. But if you want the city of Toledo's money, you have to have a home inspection. They want to see the receipt from the home inspection. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to live in this house for at least 5 years. If you don't live in the house for 5 years, they're going to prorate how long you've been there, and you have to pay back the money based off the proration rate. You also have to have a HUD certificate. You have to go through HUD counseling and HUD homebuyer education. There is one organization that is doing that in Toledo at this time. I am not doing HUD classes. I still give HUD education, but as far as hosting the classes, I am not hosting the classes right now, so you can't get your certificate from me at this point. But I may be back. I may be back here shortly. And then they also look at your debt to income ratio, which is kind of in the weeds for most people, but front end ratio, for people that know, front end ratio is 35, back end ratio is 45. Shout out to Faye Smith for sharing that information with me. These are the income guidelines, because you can't just get it. You have to qualify based off of your income. So for a household of one person, you have to make less than $53,000 per year. That's also $4,400 per month, which I would say most Toledoans are making that. I think that's more than the median income in Toledo, maybe. Don't quote me on that. For a household of 3, $68,000. So the more people in your household, the higher the threshold for you to get this money. It is a great program, and you have to have different banks. There's different banks. You have to go through certain banks because not every bank offers it. But this is a great list of lenders that offer it. And as far as counseling agencies, look at me. Here we go. Rob Pasker right here. You already know who it is and what it be. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I do this. And there's another program called OFA, the Ohio Housing Financing Agency. This is a whole another program that comes from the state. Now, it used to be 5%. Now they're giving 3% down payment assistance. Again, that's not my favorite. If you want to know my favorites, schedule a housing counseling session with me, and we will do that. I will let you know what my favorite is. So all in all, my good people, there's money out here. There is money, there is help, there are resources out here to help you make this your last year renting. What it's going to come down to is just you being in a position, putting yourself in position to purchase. It takes work, it takes diligence, it takes focus. It doesn't happen without you making it happen. You have to be intentional. That means intentionally budgeting. That means intentionally saving. That means sacrificing. If you know you want to become a homeowner, there are some certain things that you won't be able to do. But the good news is it's temporary, because once you own your home, the only way it won't be yours is if you don't pay the mortgage. That's the only way. But once it's yours, it's yours. So just know that there are people like myself here in Toledo that are here to help you make it happen. And also, if you're watching right now, share this information. Let people know this is a thing. It's a thing. It's a real thing. And so, yeah, you see it right here. Vote Rob Pasker for Toledo City Council. Housing, of course, I'm very passionate about housing. I want to support policies and programs that open the door for stable housing for renters as well as homeowners. we need stable housing. We need affordable housing. We need housing opportunities. We also need programs to help people renovate their properties. We talk about blight in our neighborhoods. People need help. People need help. And so I support programs and policies and partnerships that help our citizens keep their properties together, keep their roofs in order, keep the windows. And I'm here for that. I am here for it. I support that. I'm actually interested in putting together some ideas and partnerships and coalitions to take some of these properties on the demolition list that have good bones and empower and mobilize small developers here in Toledo, Ohio, to create affordable housing. And when I say affordable housing, I'm talking single family homes priced less than $175 for first time home buyers. That's what I want to see here. And I also want to continue to support being a business owner. I believe in supporting businesses. I want to create a Toledo where people are flocking here to do business because it's such a business friendly place. Toledo is a gem. It truly is a gem, and I see our population increasing, and I want to be a part of that change. I want to have an impact on that change of people coming back to Toledo to make this their home and build their families. And so that means creating safer neighborhoods. That means investing and creating opportunities for our youth, and also taking care of our seniors. So with that being said, if what I say resonates, if you feel like I bring some of the change that we need here in Northwest Ohio, go to pastorfortoledo.com, hit the link, go to robpasker.com. You can get to my campaign website there. I need help. I need an army of people to really do this, because I am going up against a machine. There's a lot of people that don't want me to get this seat, right? But I know that there's a lot more people that want me in this seat. So I need us to mobilize, right? So stay tuned, because we got some good things going, but I can't do it without your help, your donations, your volunteering, all of that. So with that being said, I appreciate you all rocking with me. This is live from the 419, and I'll be back. I'm staying tuned. I'm watching what's going on out here in these streets. What Jay-Z say, I got it. I'm watching what's going on in the streets. So as I see what's going on here, I'll be bringing it to you. And if you see some things that you want me to talk about, bring it to me. If you know somebody that you feel needs to talk on a subject, bring it to me, because I'm here. This is for the community. This is about the people, and this is live from the 419. And I'm Rob Pasker, and I appreciate you all. Thank you, and good night. Good night.